Welcome back to Nicholas Comic Corner, Nicholas Non-Classic. That's episode number 2672 and Doubleshot 2566. With this, we're discussing our second to last mini-series discuss Moon Knight, even though there's like one more. I'll discuss some point, but this is the last one for now. But I'll discuss that one some other point, but for this, I'm done for now. Until whenever we release our trade for. This one we have Moon Knight High Strangers, the second miniseries released Moon Knight in the 1990s, and the last one released, last Moon Knight book released for, get this. This book was released in 1999. Next time was a Moon Knight solo book, was not released until 2006. 7 years later. Why? Don't know why. It's one of the most baffling things. Written by one of his co-creators, Doug Mohawk, who does an excellent job, with Mark Textra. Beautifully done this artwork. Though I've noticed the artwork looks very similar to that of the late Neil Adams. Like, take a look at this face here. Like, it looks very similar to Neil Adams' faces, because I don't know if Mark Textra was ripping off Neil Adams' art style, or probably is very similar to it. Just normally he usually is very different, but this one is quite obviously he's inspired by Neil Adams' art style. I've only met the guy once. Mostly put for this miniseries, it's another high-level adventure for Moon Knight, which deals with like a little bit of his past. He deals with Marlene. Take a look how Mark Textra draws Mark Spector. It's very similar to how Neil Adams draws Bruce Wayne. Like, very, very similar. We even see Marlene and McKinney, which is basically a bit of fan service, which I like that. The fact it goes out and does normal Moon Knight things. It's a very high Moon Knight adventure. That's mostly what this book is. He also basically investigates this thing about this red dragon. Apparently, anybody who licks it dies. And the guy behind it, it's quite weird of miniseries, but it's at least decent follow-up to the previous one. Yes, definitely. All in all, great miniseries, and I would recommend it. Now, you might be asking, is this miniseries in trade? Nope. It's not. Don't know why it's not. It just isn't. You would think that Marvel collected one of the Epic collections, but nope, not there. Nope, not really. But I'm going to give High Strangers, a 9 out of 10. And with that kind of in a way, I'm done mostly put for reviewing Moon Knight. Now, since I'm kind of reviewing Moon Knight for now, until I'm kind of like caught up with Moon Knight right now. So, what's your placing it? Batgirl. First, starting with the Bronze Age, basically, Batgirl, the Bob McCartan stuff. I'm starting with basically our 2 Bronze Age omnibuses, and then I'm going to do Volume 1 for Batgirl, where I left off with Volume 3, and then do Volume 2, and that's it. Alright, so, next up we have is Luke Cage Noir, which is done by okay, this might surprise you who does the writing here, because one of these guys is not very well liked nowadays because of his run for Teen Titans and Suicide Squad. Okay, we have Mike Benson. No, this is not the singer of the Suicide Squad. His co-writer is Adam Glass. Yes, the guy who did Suicide Squad first 19 issues of Volume 4 for New 52, who did Teen Titans. A very, very mixed run. Like, it basically was a very disappointing run, per se. The biggest thing that probably a lot of people didn't like about it was the fact that, well, we had to replace all those really cool characters with, like, 2 people who basically are related to famous characters, and so forth. Mostly, but the story of this miniseries is this: Luke Cage is a guy who just got out of prison. Now, the obvious question is, for Luke Cage, number 1, does he have the bulletproof skin? Nope, not in this continuity, he doesn't. And apparently in this continuity, he actually did commit the crime that he served time for. He just want to go back, and apparently his wife has gone missing. I don't think it's the same person from the regular continuity. It's somebody else. No, it's not Jessica Jones. It's probably his original girlfriend. So the senator hires him to find out who killed his wife, though later finds out that apparently he killed his own wife. Yep. There's not exactly a bit of racism per se in this book. I would say, you would think, 1930s New York. Would it be racism against a guy who's black and basically trying to solve a crime? There would be, but it seems like it's very mildly there. For instance, the N-word never dropped on any of the 4 issues here. Never. You read this whole miniseries, the N-word is never mentioned. Is he called boy? No. No, he's not. Now, are people who are black depicted in narrow negative light in this miniseries? No. Not at all. For all I can tell, Luke Cage is only basically disrespected merely because he's an ex-con, not because he's black. And I do appreciate the fact, basically. Now, and this, I think, is very positive for Luke Cage. The fact that there's no racism here. We don't have any racist guards. As a matter of fact, you probably think, now, was it the Seagate? Nope. In this continuity, he was sent to Rikers Island. Oh, by the way, one of the villains in this series is Tombstone. You think, wait, Tombstone? The Spider-Man villain? Yes. So he was also featured in Luke Cage Max book. I'm not sure why. This would make you say he's bulletproof. He really isn't at all. He has some extra body armor under his clothes. He's just really strong. He's really strong. He basically develops a very good reputation with some people despite back at 1 point framed for murder. Okay, so when he finds out the senator actually is one who murdered his wife, okay, the reason why? Because he thought he was sterile because of the war. And then it turns out he wasn't. Now, I'm thinking like, okay, so if his wife is pregnant, that's a good thing. I mean, it's not like out of wedlock. There's no controversy here. Yeah, Senator's wife gets pregnant as a child. That's something to be celebrated. Not to be angry and murder the woman and basically just nearly abort a child. Yes, there's talk of abortion in this book. Yes, there's talk of that here. But this miniseries is surprisingly really good. This will also be, sadly, this miniseries, the only time we ever see Luke Cage Noir. You might be thinking, is there any follow-ups to this book? No. No, there isn't. Only X-Men Spider-Man got follow-ups. The reason why? According to one of the co-creators on Spider-Man Noir, he told me this. The reason why Spider-Man X-Men got follow-ups, and not Iron Man, not this book, not Punisher. The only reason why, because this book didn't sell very well. That's the only reason why. I'm like, okay. At least it was a mini-series, not an ongoing. I mean, it's not terrible per se. I think Luke Cage Noir is fantastic. I think it's really good. I'm going to get the book a 9.5 out of 10. It's a really enjoyable read. So with this, basically, I have officially 2 more Luke Cage miniseries left to go. And then I'm done. Okay, I will make an announcement here. What's replacing Luke Cage once I finish reviewing the next 2 miniseries? Robin. Well, starting with his Bronze Age omnibus book and then moving on to Tim Drake stuff. That's basically where we're going from there. Oh, the thing with Tombstone in this book. Aside from the fact his clothing is different, he's not much different from the American continuity. Except he has more of a... He's basically... When I first saw him, I thought he was Cottonmouth. Yes. Let me show you... Look, now you're probably thinking, Luke Cage, is he bald in this book? No. There's your facial hair. Nope. Not really. Okay, this is apparently Tombstone. You look at this guy like, that guy looks like Cottonmouth. But no, that's Tombstone. That's kind of the weird thing about this book, is that Tombstone is drawn like a regular black person, how people supposed to be black, and not just a guy with chalk white skin. Lonnie Thomas Lincoln was basically just a albino who just happened to look that way. But yeah, so that's gonna be pretty much it for a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit the dislike button. Okay, next up, Walmart Comic Corner, and then basically it's on to Tales of Wedding Rings. Okay, next video. Bye.